So I had someone write in with a couple of questions. My problem is that I have trouble picking out good words on the spot, and I tend to say now too much. How can I get over my stutterish problem? Stutterish, I like that. Let me take the second one first because it's a lot more straightforward. What I do with my own public speaking students, my own team members, is I use one of these. The problem that you get into where you have anything that's a repetitive pattern is that your brain is trying to conserve its resources by editing out things that are not immediately relevant to your purpose, and somehow you have trained in the habit of treating the word now as something that can be edited out. People have the same problem if they say like or you know. People who and they have that problem as well. So associating a really, really attention-grabbing stimulus to that event, you get to where you start to catch yourself doing it. And when you catch yourself doing it, you are 75% of the way to getting rid of it. So just very consistently, when you practice, when you give an extemp speech for practice, position someone over by the light switch and have them flick it real fast whenever you say that. Or just have someone tap the table. Or give someone a water pistol. Any of those things to where you have an association to train your brain that that is not something that it should be editing out, because every time you do it, something a little bit of aversive happens. And when you're sensitized to it, then it becomes pretty easy to put that away. Now the second part, the original first part of that question, the having a hard time coming up with good words on the spot. Most of that is nothing but experience. So really what you need, the gizmo that'll help you the most, is one that I can't show you on camera because it's the camera itself. You need to do a lot of extemporaneous speeches, and what I would do if I were you is I would video them. So if you can borrow someone's cell phone, or if you have a flip camera, they don't make them anymore, but whatever the latest version of just a little pocket camcorder, give your extemporaneous speeches and make a video as often as you possibly can, and then sit down and analyze them. First of all, spot any places where you couldn't come up with the word you want, and then write down 3 or 4 words that would have been perfect there and re-give the speech. What you can also do is you can take a practiced extemp speech that you've just given and give yourself a quota. I want to reconstruct this speech with a lot of analogies in it, or I want to reconstruct this speech with a lot of images in it. And democracy is spreading through the region like wildfire. Democracy is spreading through the region like a contagious disease, but a really, really good one. Democracy is spreading through the region like a hot band whose music everybody is downloading from iTunes. And make yourself come up with several different ones. And as you do that, more and more, you'll start to associate those thinking patterns, and you'll start to expand, not just expand your vocabulary, but get the kind of transference of learning to where that expanded vocabulary you associate and you train yourself to associate with the task of taking all of this research material and giving an extemporaneous speech. So lots and lots of practice speeches, but most importantly, lots and lots of second givings of those practice speeches. Do the preparation, give the first time, but then analyze it very carefully, improve on it in various ways, and give it a second time. And if you're doing that several times a week, then I think pretty soon you'll start to see results. Good questions, and thank you very much for sending them in.